Good morning. In this class, we are going to start with the chapter data handling. First, we will define the word data. For that, we will look after some examples. Marks scored by the students in your class in maths. If you want to get this information, what you will do, one way is you can make a table like this. Okay, and you can say here name of the student and what is the marks obtained by them. So I want to know the marks scored by the students in your class in maths for a particular subject. Then it will have, we can have the number, serial number. So 1, 2, 3, so that it will go up to your class strength, and then we can say what is the name of the student and what is the marks scored by the each student. Okay, this is the way we can get this information. So we can have more examples on this. The second is the height of the students in your class. So what I can say, I can give serial number, name of the student and what is the height, either in centimeters. Okay, so we can put 1, 2, 3 up to their class strength. We can write the name of each students and you can measure and write it what is the height of each of the student. So in each case we are collecting some information. Here the information collected is marks scored by the students. Here the information collected is height of the students in a class. So such information collected, it can be called as data. The information collected is called data. So now we are going to see about what is called representing data. There are many ways of representing data. For example, you can see here we have stored our data in a table form. Okay, so here is a serial number which gives the total number of students in the class, and this column will give the name of the student, and here you can see the height of the student. This is also one form of representing data. This is in the form of table. There are different forms of representing data. For example, I want to represent the strength of the students from class 6 to class 10th. Okay, in a school I want to know what is the strength of the students from class 6 to class 10th. The first way is a bar graph. What is a bar graph? A display of information using bars of uniform width, their heights being proportional to the respective values. What does it mean? So I am going to show information in terms of bar. Suppose you consider this is the bar. Okay, this is the height of the bar and this is the width of the bar. So here you should have a uniform width, which means all the bars should have uniform width. This width should be uniform for all the bars. The height being proportional to the respective values. The height will change. This height will change according to the values. We will see one example for that. Suppose now we want to represent the strength of the students from class 6 to class strength. Here is how we can represent that. Here you can see the class 6, class 7, class 8, class 9 and class 10. Okay, this is on the classes. Okay, in the horizontal axis. On the vertical axis I am having the class strength. So what are the information I can get from here? The strength of the class 6 is 30. It is around some 30. The strength of class 7 is 60. The strength of class 8 is 40. The strength of class 9 is 40 and strength of class 10 is 80. Okay, the same thing you can write it in the form of a table. Okay, this is another form of representing a graph called bar graph. Here all the bars should be of width should be uniform. This is the width. The width should be uniform for all the bars. The height will change according to the values here. Okay, so from this we can say this class 6 has the lowest strength and the class 8, this is the class 8 and class 9 have the same strength. Okay, you can see this height is same. So class 8 and class 9 have the same strength of students and class 10 has more strength. Okay, these are the information we can get from a bar graph. Okay, one thing is that even though if you change What I mean is, I am writing here 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It is not that we have to always write it in the same order. You can write class 7 here, class 8 here, class 6 here. Okay, so even though if you change, the information you are getting from this bar graph is going to remain the same. Okay, so bar graph is a way of displaying information using bars of uniform width. So, and the height will represent their values. Okay, there is another way of representing is double bar graph. Double bar graph, you can read the definition here. A bar graph showing two sets of data simultaneously, it is useful for comparison of data. Suppose you want to compare two sets of data. You have compared, for example, here I have given, consider you and your friend are playing a cricket match. Okay, you are playing some 3 matches. How many runs scored by you and your friend? Suppose match 1, match 2 and match 3. Here you is represented by like this and your friend's score is represented by a dashed lines. Okay, so you have scored 20 runs in the first match and your friend have scored 30 runs. Here you can see you have scored 40 runs and your friend have scored 30 runs. In the third match, they both have scored only 30 runs. So this double bar graph is used for comparison of data. Okay. Now the next way of representing data is pictograph. Pictorial representation of data using symbols. Here we are going to use some symbols to represent the data. For example, consider there is a shop. The shopkeeper is selling boxes of chocolates. Okay, suppose each box has 10 chocolates. Suppose each box is 10 chocolates. If I am drawing a single box, it means 10 chocolates are sold. So this will represent as 1 chocolate. Now I want to get some information like how many chocolates are sold in the month of January, February and March. So if this is 1 box, it means 10 chocolates. If this is 2 box, it means 20 chocolates. So how many chocolates are sold in month of January is 20 chocolates. This is number of chocolates sold. Okay, so now we can see here in February, this is for 10 chocolates and here it is 10 chocolates. Here it is symbol like this which show 1 chocolate. So this is 10, this is 10, this is 1 and 1. So it is 22 chocolates sold out in the month of February. So in March you can say this is 10, this is 1 and this is 1, 1. 10, 11, 12 and 13. 13 chocolates are sold in the month of March. You can have any symbol as you like. Okay, so this pictorial representation of data using some symbols that is called as pictograph. The next thing we are going to see is organizing data. So data in an unorganized form is called raw data. So what is this called, this unorganized form? Okay, so suppose this is an example, colors liked by the students. So I am asking to the students about the colors which they like, to some 10 students. I am giving some information like this: green, red, green, yellow, blue, black, brown, green. This data is called raw data. Okay, this data is in some unorganized form. So this data is called raw data. How to convert into the organized form? So that we have to do like this. Here is the colors and tally marks and number of students. So I want to now going to fill this table. So this is colors, tally marks and number of students. So in the column of colors, I will write all the colors given by the students. So green, red, yellow, blue, black, brown. You have to enter it only once. Okay. So now tally marks, I have to fill it. A green, a red, a green, yellow, blue, black, brown and then again a green. Okay, for every entry if there is a green you have to put a dash here. For red, put a dash here. For green, again put a dash here. For yellow, put a dash here. Such that you have to give the tally marks. Okay, now we have to see how many students are here. Here it is 3, here it is 1, here it is 1, 2, 2, 1. Okay, now compared to this data, green, red, green, yellow, blue, black, brown, green, you can see from this table we can get more amount of information. What is that you can get? You can check there are totally 10 number of students are there. Okay, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there are 10 number of students. Okay, most of the students like green color. Okay, here few students like, one student like red, yellow, and one student like brown. Okay, these are the information we can get from if you organize your data. Okay, now here what is called frequency. Frequency gives the number of times that a particular entry occurs. Suppose, what does it mean is, suppose I am asking what is the frequency of the students who like blue. So the blue is liked by 2 students. Okay, the blue color is liked by 2 students, so the frequency is 2. The frequency of the students who like blue is 2. Suppose what is the frequency of the students who like green, then in that case it will be 3. So what is the frequency is the number of times. You have to count the entry here, that will gives the frequency. The next topic is grouping of data. Here is an example how you will group data. Marks scored by 20 students in a class test. So there are total 20 number of students. There is a class test. The total marks is 50. So out of 50, these are the marks scored by the students. Now I want to group this data. So how to do is, I am writing this as class interval. Class interval means I have written 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, and 40 to 50. So here the marks, the total marks is 50. So minimum marks is 0. From 0 to 50, so minimum is 0, the maximum is 50. The total range of 0 to 50, I am splitting into groups. So this is from 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, and 40 to 50. So now I am going to count how many students scored from 0 to 10. Okay, so here I will write it here. Now there is a doubt here. If a student have scored 10 marks, whether to enter it here or enter it here, because it is from 0 to 10. This is from 10 to 20. If a student has scored 10 marks, whether to write it here or here. So the convention is always write it in the higher class limit, which means if a student has scored 10, you have to write it here, not here. Okay, so if it is 0 to 10, you have to count only from 0 to 9. Okay, if a student scored 10, you have to write it here. So suppose the same thing, if a student scored 20, you have to write it here, not here. So this is from 0 to 9, this is from 10 to 19, this is from 20 to 29, this is from 30 to 39, and this is from 40 to, here you can include this 50 also. Okay, so let us start counting now. Now I am going to count how many students scored marks from 0 to 9. Okay, so here is a 5 is here, and here it is 7 is here. So there are 2 students. Again from 10 to 19 I have to count. Okay, so I should not count this 20 here. 20 should go here. So I should count from 10 to 19. So it is, if you count this, so I can include the 10 now here. This is 10, 11, another 10 is here, another 15 is here. So it is 4. Now I am going to count from 20 to 29. It is 5, and here it is 4, and here it is 5. Okay, this is the class interval and this is the frequency. Now what we can do is, I want to represent this in a graphical form. So now the data displayed in a table form, I am going to represent that in the form of a graph like this. Okay, you can see here I have marked marks scored out of 50. So it is 10, 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So you have to write according to the class intervals. Okay, it is from 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 40, 50. All these intervals should have the same width. Suppose you should not write from 0 to 5 and then 5 to 30 like that. Okay, this interval should be of same. Then here I have written the number of students. So you can see from 0 to 10 the frequency is 2. So for 0 to 10 I have marked as 2. From 10 to 20 is 4, 20 to 30 is 5, 30 to 40 is 4, and from 40 to 50 there are 5 students. So this form of representing data is called histogram. Okay, this form of representing data is called histogram. Here what is there? In the horizontal axis you have represented the marks code. Okay, that is, you can say, the group of observations. In the vertical axis you have represent the frequency. Okay, so whatever you have marked in class intervals, that will come in the horizontal axis and the frequency will come in the vertical axis. Okay, so this type of representation is called as histogram, and we can say here the lower limit, here from this you can say the lower limit is 0 and the upper limit is 10. Here the lower limit is 10 and the upper limit is 20. So what is the size or width of the interval is? Here it is 10. Okay, the size or width of the interval is 10. So this is how you can you have to draw a histogram for a particular data. So by this we are completing the introduction part for data handling. From next class we will start with the exercise 5.1. Thank you.